Housesitters is a pretty enjoyable film. This was released in 1992. It's directed by Frank Oz and it's written by Mark Stein. And it stars Steve Martin as Davis and Goldie Hawn as Gwen. And it took a little bit of time for me to get into it. I'd say it took a good 20-25 minutes. The film itself is about an hour and 40. But once I started to enjoy it, I really started to enjoy it. Unfortunately for Davis, at the start of the film, he proposes to his girlfriend. He's built her a house without her knowing. This beautiful house. It's absolutely gorgeous. And she says no. She won't marry him. And he happens to be talking to this waitress who he believes doesn't speak very good English. This is, of course, Gwen. And he's complaining about the situation. And then it turns out that actually Gwen does speak English. She is American. And she learns that there is this house that Davis is not living in, and he said that he can't bring himself to sell it. He doesn't know what to do with it, but he doesn't want to live in it because obviously bad memories of having just had his proposal rejected. So Gwen finds out the location of the house and moves into it. And Gwen, for the most part, is a very mysterious character. As the film progresses, we do learn more and more about her, and I will say she's an exceptionally well-written character. The backstory, I won't go into any detail about it, but really, really fascinating, really interesting character. And Davis goes to the house and sees Gwen there, and of course he's exceptionally confused by this, and she explains a little bit about why she was there or what her motivation was for going to this house. I won't spoil it by going into any of those details, but Davis realises that there's an opportunity to use this situation and the lies that Gwen has been telling, and I'll talk about those in a moment, to try and get his former girlfriend back. And the film is all about them faking this relationship, Davis and Gwen, and making the people in the town and also Davis's family think that they're married. And to begin with, for me, it was really unclear how this was going to benefit Davis's situation, but actually it makes a lot of sense. I don't want to say too much about it, as again, I don't want to give away more than I already have, but I found this to be a really fascinating concept, very well executed, and the characters are brilliant, particularly Gwen. She is really fascinating, very, very well-written character. The performances are brilliant as well, of course, and the house is absolutely stunning. It is so, so beautiful. According to IMDb, the house was actually built as a standing set in Massachusetts and it was torn down after filming, which is heartbreaking, but I'm assuming it didn't have the structural integrity of an actual house. I'm assuming it wasn't long-term livable, but it is absolutely stunning. And the narrative is really, really good fun, and it gets a little bit emotional at times as we learn about the characters and dig a little bit deeper into who they are. But for the most part, I'd say it's quite light-hearted. It's a really fun comedy, but there are more serious moments just to give it a bit more balance. The performances are really good and definitely is a film that I really thoroughly enjoyed. Yes, it took me maybe 20-25 minutes to get into it, but once I did, it was just absolutely brilliant. And from that point on, it just became better and better and more interesting, and I really adored it. If you haven't seen Housesitter, definitely check it out. It's a really entertaining film, very well written narrative with some really fascinating characters and, well, an absolutely gorgeous house. Definitely a film that's worth watching.